Good afternoon, beloveds. It's Father Marshall Shelley. I'm here to give you the weekly Rector's vlog and update here at St. Peter's. I was working on trying to get everything done and written and prepared for our MailChimp broadcast, but luckily I was given a bit of a respite because our e-news goes out usually on Thursday afternoons. However, we are taping our virtual Sunday school tonight, Thursday night, so that means I get a little bit of extra time, had a little bit of extra time to reflect on this. Whether that actually reflects in the quality of the broadcast, I can't say. But what I can say is I've had a little more time to think about it. So it's been a busy week here at St. Peter's. We had a wedding on Sunday as well as our regular worship. It was our first real sort of effort to use our new iWave generator. This is an ion generating device that we put into our air handlers in the church and in the parish hall. A new installation for a new product. This is a product that's been used in schools and in public buildings, trying to ensure that the atmosphere that we are breathing and sharing is as safe to use as possible. By filling the air with positively and negatively charged ions, it causes the virus that is airborne to wind up being killed, and it precipitates out of the air quickly. I'm really happy about this. We discovered this product with our HVAC contractor, and we're very hopeful that this is going to reflect well on us. I will say that when these iWave generators are running, the air smells fresher. It's kind of like being down the shore, I said to folks, with that first breath you take in the morning when you smell the salt air and those ions that are floating there because of the waves crashing against the shore. You get that sense of well-being. So if nothing else, we'll feel better. By God's grace, we'll be better. So there's that going for us. We had our Vestry meeting on Monday. We received the first draft of our mission and ministry budget for 2021 from our finance ministry. As well, we authorized and renewed some attention to tree work that has to happen in the churchyard. We're making sure that we can get that done as quickly as possible because we are working on a connected Christmas. More to come at another weekly update on that. But one of those things is how do we beautify the grounds around the church and make sure that people know that on the corner of Main and DeVoe they are being welcomed in this coming Advent and Christmas season. And we really need those prayers and that sense of community. Even though we are apart from each other because of social distancing, we can do everything we can to create some spiritual intimacy. We also discussed some essential repairs that need to happen on the property. We're particularly focused on the parish hall, making sure, again, that we continue to maintain that space as safe as possible for our expanded thrift shop. And we really appreciate the support that the expanded thrift shop ministry is getting from the community, as well as the support that is coming from our shoppers. We're really blessed, and it's really great to be over and be able to visit with our volunteers. They're really enthusiastic about all the good things that are happening there. So thank you for your support of that vital and important ministry to our continued life together. Speaking of that continued life together, we are still in the midst of stewardship season, so if you haven't yet sent in your commitment card, please do so. That helps us budget, and one of the areas that is probably going to be the most challenging for us in the coming year, because we're all in that place, is trying to figure out how we can create a budget when there are so many variables, so many unknowns around us. One of the ways that we can settle that, at least in our hearts and in our souls, is to make some priority commitments in our lives. And one of those, my wife and I are glad to say, one of those primary ones for us is the life and ministry we take part in here at St. Peter's. So even as we have made our commitment, we invite you to make yours. Thank you very much for that and for that considerate and prayerful intention as you write those cards out and send them in to us. If you wish to do it virtually, you can simply update your giving online if you're doing it that way and let our financial secretary know, but we would really love to have that card back. It's a tangible way for us all to mark and celebrate our commitments to the life and ministry of St. Peter's in the coming year. We are getting ready to tape our virtual Sunday school tonight. We're going to be talking about Jesus and justice. What does Jesus have to say about justice? And those words, I hope, will be particularly salient to us and poignant as we reflect on them in the coming weeks and months ahead, even as we've had so much to think about in terms of justice in our communities over the course of the past few years. And also, of course, we always continue on with our online worship, morning and evening prayer throughout the week, noonday prayers on Wednesday, and our Sunday morning service, which is both live and also recorded and in person and on tape. So I hope you avail yourself of either one of those. As we move forward into Advent, you're going to be hearing more about our online worship and our in-person worship. And of course, we realize that everything is an ongoing and unfolding situation in the world around us. So we're going to do our best to serve and reflect our community and also our goals and focus on Christ and the well-being of all, as well as our common goals of health and support of each other in prayer. I wanted to give you the word for the day. I'm going to just take a couple minutes of your time. Please bear with me on this. The word is convention. Convention is one of those words that I've come to both love and dread in some ways. We have a virtual convention this year for our diocesan gathering, and it's looking more and more likely that the Episcopal Church's General Convention is going to be virtual as well in the coming year. These two conventions are really important. You see, we as Episcopalians don't hold to a hierarchy in the same way that other denominations might. And when we think about the church gathered in authority, we're actually thinking about the lay and the ordained representatives from every community that constitutes a diocese to make a diocesan convention, and every diocese in our Episcopal Church constituting a general convention. It's when the whole body is gathered that we are wholly present and fully constituted. So for St. Peter's, we are an enrolled body, parish, that is a member of the Convention of the Episcopal Diocese of New Jersey. I, as a priest, I am canonically resident and am enrolled in the convention as a clergy person in good standing with the Convention of the Diocese of New Jersey. So that gathering is really our essential unit. When we gather virtually on Saturday, that gathering of that convention is really the whole body of the church, the Episcopal Church in New Jersey, constituted and gathered. We're all playing a part in it. We all have a role to play. We all have a part to play. We all have a function to play in that wider body. So we are all members of that one body that is Christ for us in the Episcopal Church in the Diocese of New Jersey. So convention is important. Convention, in another sense, is also those generally accepted assumptions we make about the way we should be behaving and organizing our lives towards others. We abide by conventions. You've heard of the Geneva Convention if you watched Hogan's Heroes, or if you are a fan of any sort of World War II or other stories, books, movies, etc. The Geneva Convention is a group of understandings that say this is how we will act towards each other, even when we're involved in conflict and in war. So conventions are important for us. We think of things being ordered in a certain way, and we try to strive to make sure that those things move in good order. So we observe convention, these agreed upon practices. So for us as Episcopalians, we agree to gather and to be in community with each other, even if we don't always agree on everything. By the conventions of our society, we do our best to make sure that we maintain civil discourse, that we maintain a sense of care and respect for our neighbor, for others, and we do everything we can to assure that everyone has access to those resources that allow them to maintain their dignity, and also the grace to be able to disagree with some sense of peace of mind. Of course, we have to allow that in this time of conflict, the conventions of making sure that we are being polite to each other have eroded some. So as you move through this day, think about those conventions that you are a part of. Think about those conventions that are behaviors and models of behavior that you strive to keep. And I pray that you will pray for the Episcopal Diocese of New Jersey as it gathers in its virtual convention this weekend. And I look forward to sharing the thoughts that come out of that convention with you next week. Take care, God bless, and be well. I'm sorry it took a little bit longer today than I wanted. I wanted to try to keep this to 8 minutes, wound up being 9 minutes and 25 seconds. Sorry about that.